Thank you for joining me in another episode of Who Framed James. My name is James Byrd, and I'm currently an inmate at the Allegheny County Jail who's been framed and set up for bogus crimes that he did not commit. I would like to display to you some evidence today and ask that America judge this trial, which I'll be going to a jury trial soon for. But I want America to judge this evidence to see the illegalities that took place and actually witness the fact that our criminal justice system is so corrupt and so systemically racist that they would allow such a manifest miscarriage of justice to take place in order to cover up the acts of public officials charged with the duty of upholding the law, who blatantly violate the law in order to obtain convictions at any cost to further their careers. I would like to present to you evidence that shows that I was illegally incarcerated at the Allegheny County Jail prior to being charged with the rape charge that I'm now going to trial for. What I'm going to display today is document number 272. It's an ACJ Records Department request dated 8/20/2015. For the record, I would like to display that for the camera. Now I would like to read to you what the document states. ACJ Records Department, 8/2015, James Byrd, number 52773. Unit 3F, cell 123. That's the location that I was in at the time that I filed this document. I am being held on a detainer for the Ohio Adult Parole Authority. That is the sole reason I was arrested on June 9, 2015. I have nothing else legally holding me, and I was not charged with any other crimes at the time of my arrest on June 9, 2015. Pursuant to 42 PA CS subsection 9136A, I could only be held for 30 days while awaiting extradition. Please explain to me why I'm still being held in the ACJ without legal authority. And I received an answer back from an unknown party who responded, "You can't leave PA until you're done with local cases. OTN number G703965-3, trial 10/1/15. Again, I'll display that for the record so you can see the response at the bottom. I'm sure we can do a handwriting analysis if necessary to prove who authored that response and that it is an authentic response. However, I would like to present to you also a documented number 273, which is a handwritten motion written by myself to the Allegheny County Courts requesting a modification for bail pursuant to Pennsylvania Rules of Criminal Procedure 529D2. For the record, I'd like to display that for the camera. It's page 1 of a 5-page motion that I'll read to you the contents. Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus Altariq Sharif Ali Byrd, defendant. 2. President Judge Jeffrey A. Manning. Regarding criminal case number CP-02-CR-02875-2015. Motion for bail modification. Motion for modification of bail pursuant to PA Rule Criminal Procedure 529D2. And now comes defendant Altariq Sharif Ali Byrd, pro se, who respectfully moves this honorable court to modify his bail order of March 23, 2016, and in support thereof states as follows. 1. Defendant was arrested by the McKeesport Police and charged in connection with the above captioned case on February 23, 2015. 2. Defendant posted $100,000 monetary bail buy-in through Diane Tressa bail bonds on April 9, 2015 and was released from the Allegheny County Jail on Easter Sunday, 2015. 3. Defendant was subsequently rearrested on June 9, 2015 on behalf of the Ohio Adult Parole Authority on an extradition warrant for failure to report. Moving on to page 2 of the document, paragraph 4. Defendant had not violated any of the conditions of bail in the above captioned case and bail remained active. 5. Ohio failed to extradite defendant within the time parameters of the Uniform Criminal Extradition Act 42 PA-CS subsection 9136A. 6. Defendant should have been released from the Allegheny County Jail and his bail in the above captioned case remained active wherein the conditions had not been violated pursuant to PA Rule of Criminal Procedure 526. 7. Despite the active status of defendant's bail in the above captioned matter and Ohio's failure to extradite the defendant, defendant James T. Byrd was held incarcerated illegally for 9 months pending the outcome of the charges in the above captioned case. 8. On February 17, 2016, while incarcerated on an active bail and an expired extradition detainer, defendant made a phone call to his fiancée. The conversation was then used by the Allegheny County District Attorney's Office to charge the defendant with criminal allegations in case number CP02CR-0003369-2016. My narration of that case number is a rape charge that was charged against me. And I correct that motion. It wasn't actually a phone call. It was a visit wherein Miss Heaps, the alleged victim, visited me at the county jail in person, and she was recorded and I was recorded on a visit illegally wherein they used that conversation to charge me with a rape charge against my ex-fiancée who was visiting me at the time that I was illegally incarcerated and being held against my will and against the United States Constitution and the Pennsylvania Constitution. 9. On March 4th, 2016, defendant appeared before Judge David R. Cashman for a preliminary arraignment for case number CP-02-CR-0003369-2016, wherein bail was set at $500,000 monetary. I'm moving on to page 3 of the document at paragraph 10. On March 22nd, 2016, a preliminary hearing was held before Magistrate Judge Scott H. Stryker, wherein the alleged victim, defendant's fiancée Dana Heaps, did not appear to offer any testimony that a crime was committed against her. The case was unconstitutionally held for trial. 11. On March 23rd, 2016, a bail revocation hearing was held before this honorable court with regards to case number CP-02-CR-02875-2015. In my narration, for the record, that is the gun case that I was originally charged with, made bail, and was released on Easter Sunday for. Paragraph 12. This court, not being made aware of the facts in this case, was misled by Assistant District Attorney Lawrence Elliott Sachs as to the circumstances involved. 13. This honorable court revoked the defendant's bail in case number CP-02-CR-02875 over the objection of the defendant and stated on record, and I quote, "I'll revisit the issue more fully when your attorney files," unquote. 14. It has now been 3 months since the revocation of bail in this matter. 15. Defendant has previously displayed his willingness and intent to appear at all future court proceedings in this matter. 16. Defendant has secured and submitted adequate cash and property to ensure his appearance at all future court proceedings. Moving on to page 4 of the 5-page document at paragraph 17. Defendant is entitled to bail pursuant to Pennsylvania Constitution, Article 1, Section 14. Number 18. 42 PA-CS subsection 5701 is not applicable in this matter, as the defendant has not had any contact with the alleged victim in this case and has not posed a threat to anyone in the community wherein a condition or combination of conditions other than imprisonment won't reasonably assure safety. 19. Defendant is already subjected to $500,000 monetary bail in case number CP CP-02-CR-0003369, whereas justice does not require bail to be denied in this case as well. Wherefore, for the reasons set fully in this motion, the defendant so prays that the relief sought is granted and bail is reinstated in the above captioned matter, or any other relief deemed appropriate by this honorable court. Respectfully submitted, Altariq Sharif Ali Byrd, pro se. Page 5 is a certification and affirmation that every allegation is true pursuant to Title 18, Section 4904, relating to unformed falsifications to authorities. Now, after submitting that motion, the motion sat on the docket and wasn't answered. The motion was ultimately denied. Bail was denied in the gun charge with respect to the new rape charge, which I had not even done, which there was no evidence for. But again, you don't have to just take my word for it. America, look at the evidence. I'm not lying. I'm displaying the fact that there was a district attorney who had connections for 33 years in this county who railroaded me, set me up to be staying in jail for a crime that I didn't commit while I was out on bail, a paid bail that wasn't revoked, and then used a bogus excuse of a rape charge that was illegally recorded while I was on a visit being held illegally in the county jail, and that charge was then mulled over and used as a means to hold me incarcerated all this time. But you don't have to take my word for it. I'll display yet another piece of evidence for America to view. Here is a habeas corpus petition to the United States District Courts for the Western District of Pennsylvania. As you can see, it was filed and received by the district courts on May 18, 2016. For the record, I'm displaying the motion for writ of habeas corpus to the United States District Court in the Western District of Pennsylvania. Now I'll read to you the motion. James T. Byrd, petitioner, versus Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Allegheny County District Attorney Wharton Orlando Harper, respondents. Type of motion: federal habeas corpus, show cause. Writ of habeas corpus, petition for show cause order. Now comes petitioner James T. Byrd, pro se, and hereby brings this pleading in and in support thereof submits the following information and exhibits. Jurisdiction. This court has jurisdiction pursuant to 28 U.S.C. subsection 2254 and subsection 2241. Contesting unlawful imprisonment, illegal detention, and violations arising under the Constitution, laws, and or treaties of the United States, namely the 4th, 6th, 8th, and 14th Amendments, including but not limited to Article 1, Section 8 and 9 of the Pennsylvania Constitution. This court has jurisdiction over such claims under the exigent circumstances of exhaustion of all prison administrative remedies and state remedies as set forth more fully herein. Case history and significant facts. On February 23, 2015, the petitioner was arrested and charged in connection with case number CP-02-CR-0002875-2015. The petitioner posted $100,000 bail and was released from the Allegheny County Jail on Easter Sunday, 2015. On June 9, 2015, the petitioner was arrested by the Western Pennsylvania Fugitive Task Force on behalf of the Ohio Adult Parole Authority. On June 9, 2015, the petitioner appeared before Judge Jeffrey A. Manning and was committed to the Allegheny County Jail to await extradition requisition pursuant to 42 PA Constitutional Statute 9136A. A detainer was lodged against the petitioner as an extradition detainer. A second detainer was lodged against the petitioner in connection to case number CP-02-CR-0014096-1998 by the Allegheny County Board of Probation and Parole. This detainer was lodged erroneously and was disposed of on June 16, 2016. To date, petitioner remains incarcerated at the Allegheny County Jail solely on an extradition detainer for which no additional charges were filed at the time of his arrest. Subsequent to the petitioner's vigorous efforts to expedite his extradition by filing administrative grievances, appeals, state habeas corpus, letters to the Ohio Adult Parole Authority, and numerous other correspondences, the petitioner remains incarcerated awaiting extradition, giving rise to the exigent circumstances required for this court to exercise jurisdiction. Judicial notice requested of submitted exhibits. Law and argument. The petitioner's arrest was solely for a fugitive warrant wherein no additional charges were filed. The petitioner's bail for case number CP-02-CR-0002875-2015 remained active as none of the conditions thereof were violated. Pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 2967.28 E3D, the petitioner is entitled to procedural due process as an alleged violator. On June 9, 2015, Judge Manning, acting within the judicial branch of government, issued a final order committing the petitioner to the ACJ pursuant to 42 PACS subsection 9136. This judicial order mandates the petitioner be returned to Ohio. Petitioner has executed a pre-signed waiver of extradition as a condition of his supervision by the Ohio Adult Parole Authority. In essence, the petitioner has made himself immediately available for extradition without the necessity of a new governor's warrant. See Exhibit 3, Judicial Notice Requested. Ohio authorities have made several attempts to enter Allegheny County and retrieve the petitioner. The state of Ohio has continuously been denied access to the petitioner by Warden Orlando Harper by and through subordinate staff at the ACJ. The act of the respondents deeming the petitioner unavailable and refusing to transfer custody suffices to various constitutional violations of the 4th, 6th, 8th, 4th, and 14th Amendments, as well as Article 1, Section 8 and 9 of the Pennsylvania Constitution. A clear and undisputable court order has been issued by a judicial branch officer wherein the law is now being circumvented by an executive branch officer who blatantly refuses to adhere to the order. This constitutes a violation of the doctrine of separation of powers. After the fact explanations do not justify a violation of an existing, clear, and unambiguous court order. When a governing court order exists, it is for the court and not a party to unilaterally modify or nullify that order. However intentioned, whether good or evil, a party is not authorized to ignore controlling court orders based upon its own view about the existence and effect of a change of circumstances. The petitioner's current incarceration is clearly illegal and the product of Warden Orlando L. Harper's unofficial policy of disregarding court orders and imposing lengthy and indefinite prison terms on defendants. See Leonard T. Williamson Sr. versus Allegheny County Jail. Also Williamson Sr. versus Harper. Wherefore, the petitioner respectfully requests this honorable court issue an order for the respondents to show cause and or release the petitioner from his unlawful restraints forthwith. Respectfully, James T. Byrd. And the last page is a verification under 4904 stating that no falsifications were made in this particular motion for habeas corpus petition relief and a so-called order. Now, with that being said, I want to make it clear and plain in layman's terms what took place. I was released from the Allegheny County Jail on bail. I got rearrested simply for a warrant out of Ohio for not reporting to my PO. I had no additional charges at the time. I was being held illegally, and I went through every length to gain my freedom and liberty back by filing every document that I could possibly file. In the midst of that, the DA's office of Allegheny County got the bright idea that they would use an illegally obtained visiting conversation between me and my ex-fiancée to charge me with a rape based off of a conversation where I told her not to take some pills because I have sex with her when she's on these pills and she acts incoherent and acts like she doesn't even know it's happening. Now, to tell you the truth, America, I did say that to my fiancée, my ex-fiancée. However, I only said it to her to convince her not to take the pills. Not because there was any truth to the matter, but because I was trying to convince her not to take the pills And I knew that if I lied to her about something that never happened, she would never be able to recall it happening because it never did happen. And she would probably say, you know what, fuck that. I'm not taking these pills no more. This shit got me incoherent to the point where I can't remember if I'm having sex with my man or not. DA's office took that conversation and charged me with a bogus rape charge with no truth to the matter, and then relied on false evidence in order to prosecute the case and hold me incarcerated long enough for them to now get a federal conviction for the original gun case, which I should have never been in jail for in the first place. Tell me, America, why am I still in jail? Why, or is the Allegheny County District Attorney's Office being allowed to perpetuate illegal incarcerations and violate the constitutional rights of criminal defendants when they have no justified means of doing so? Because what? They got the power to do so? Because they've been sworn in as DAs, as attorneys to prosecute crimes, and they just take it upon themselves to violate everybody's rights that are black and do what they want to do? And we just sit back and let this shit happen and say, you know what? We're not going to do anything about it because he's charged with a rape case. Stop it, please. Everybody in this town, everybody in this county, everybody that knows me in other states knows one thing about Mr. Byrd. I don't have to rape anybody, especially not my own fiance, who I could clearly have sex with in any manner, shape, or form without any discretion as to whether or not she wants to consent to this or not. Come on, y'all. I mean, as you can see, I'm getting frustrated, yes, because I've had my name slandered with a bogus rape charge that never happened when all the evidence showed that it didn't happen, and I still sat in jail the whole time. They got this shit all over the news, all over the internet. They got this shit all over court documents where it looks like I've been convicted of a rape and I've never even been to trial for it. They're even using it in federal sentencing hearings in order to enhance my sentencing and do all types of corrupt, illegal shit that shouldn't even be taking place. And the only reason why it's still taking place is because I'm down here fighting them by myself, and nobody from the outside will actually look into the situation and see that I'm telling the truth and see what happened. I guarantee you this, America. I guarantee you if one attorney from anywhere in the country, doesn't matter where from, contacts me, gets in touch with me, and checks the paperwork that I have, the physical documentation, all of the Supreme Court records, all the Superior Court records, all of the Allegheny County Court records, all of the Western District Court records, you'll see clearly, undisputable evidence that I was set up, that I was clearly set the fuck up, that this shit was covered up, and that I shouldn't even be sitting in jail after all this time. To tell you the truth, I even contemplated committing suicide on numerous occasions because I was just tired of fighting this situation. But you know what kept me from doing that? The fact that I knew that I had to be strong for other people who have also suffered these types of injustices in this county. This county is corrupt as hell, and they're known for cover-ups. They're known for illegal police conduct. They're known for illegal prosecutorial misconduct, and they get away with it every time because the county executive and the news media and everybody down in Allegheny County sweeps the shit under the rug and lets it happen. Please, look at me in my face. Help me expose what the fuck is going on down here, because it's not right, and people like myself and others shouldn't keep going through shit like this. I believe in justice, and I believe in prosecuting crimes. I don't believe that society should be lawless by no means. I've done things in my life that I've been prosecuted for, and I paid my penalty. I'm not guilty of the shit that I'm accused of right now, and I'm still paying the penalty, and I've been paying it for close to 8 years now. When is America going to get involved and decide to do something about this? I'm James Byrd, and I appreciate you tuning in, America. Please be my jury and give me justice. Join me next time for another episode of Who Framed James?